Good evening and welcome to the news. The jury reached a unanimous decision in finding Alhassan Ghassan guilty of murdering his wife Romenta in June last year in Mobuxton. The court has therefore enforced the mandatory sentence of life imprisonment in this case. The judgment was delivered in the early hours of this Friday after deliberations which started yesterday morning. The case itself started in September, on the 25th of September, that was last month, and presiding over the case was Supreme Court Judge Brassel Adlin. The prosecution produced 23 witnesses and 69 exhibits to prove its case. All the 4 Hilton hotels in Seychelles organized a careers awareness campaign for the secondary students today. Its objective was to give the students a better idea of the different career opportunities that exist in the tourism industry.
It's an international careers that Hilton offers to all the students across the country, and we as Hilton Seychelles, we believe in youth, and we believe that there's a prospect with the students to have a career with Hilton. We have lots of opportunities. We have students that can join FITSI, like I've mentioned, as a fast track. And then we have all the departments, like I've mentioned. They can choose a career, whether it's administrative, it's procurement, sales and marketing, commercial, and HR itself. So, and in operations, like everybody knows hospitality is all about.
Some 50 youth activists of the LDS party coming from all electoral districts in the country are learning new campaign strategies through a 2-day workshop. This includes understanding the digital media landscape, making an impact with campaigns, content governance and outreach. The Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom for the Sub-Saharan African region is facilitating the workshop under the theme Working Together to Enhance Opportunities. The foundation of German origin works with liberal parties. It was the President of the Republic, Wivel Ramkalawan, who launched the workshop at L'Escale Hotel this morning in his capacity as the honorary president of LDS. He called on the youth activists to be compassionate and to be wary of false propaganda, amongst other advice. Students from the National Institute of Health and Social Studies had the opportunity to learn more about 2 committees of the National Assembly, namely the Committee of Communicable Diseases, HIV/AIDS and Sexual Reproductive Health, and the Women Parliamentary Caucus. That was during a meeting at the Institute this afternoon. The meeting was part of the outreach program which various committees of the National Assembly are carrying out to mark the 30th anniversary of the National Assembly.
And the purpose is for us to reach out to the different post-secondary institutions, and for us we chose NHSS because NHSS is a health it's a health school, and at the same time our parent ministry is the Ministry of Health, so we tend to sort of have our outreach with them so that we can interact and at least let them know what the committee is doing in terms of policy, mostly legislations, motions, and so on and so forth, and see the way forward where we can accomplish the task of the National Assembly at the same time for the NHSS agenda.
The Department of Environment organized a food fiesta this morning at Camion Hall in Victoria. A total of 28 schools participated in the fair, where they demonstrated their talent in creating a traditional dish of small island states around the world. After doing their research, each school had to pick a country and use as main ingredients fish, coconut, and breadfruit to prepare a dish of their choice. The winner will be announced early next month. Kovina Investment Company has initiated a scholarship program to award recommended candidates to pursue tertiary education for career advancement. In a small ceremony earlier this week, the CEO of Kovina Investment Company, Rod Torrington, handed over the scholarship document to Saeed Hariba, the first recipient. Mr. Torrington also said this has been a group effort with other stakeholders and partners to ensure that they give back to the community.
Well, you know, when we look at what used to be known as the CSR program, but really it's about giving back as a corporate actor in Seychelles. We have to look at how best to add value back to the community that we exist in. So education is at the forefront, environment's at the forefront, very much so. I mean, most of our businesses in one way or the other depend on hospitality and tourism. Tourism depends heavily on the environment that we have in Seychelles. So we, I suppose, spoke and consulted with the ICS and identified that, well, came up with the conclusion that we need to identify some young talent within their programs who could be eligible for tertiary education that would help ensure that we have Seychelles young men and women who are competent enough to look after our environment, because that's really the end game, is capacity building, as Dr. Rockamora said, capacity building within the Seychelles.
We've come to the end of this news summary. Thank you for watching.